What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 28 of the Get Your Game On podcast, bringing you the hottest takes, land stories, and spicy picks surrounding New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Grassani, joined this time by Michael Cunningham and Alex Reich. You can listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Get Your Game On P. And with all that said, it's time to get your game on. All right, welcome back.
What's going on, Adam?
Yeah, so I think this is our first episode in a while. Like it's been. Let me check, guys. This is our first episode in a week, so yeah, production of the other episodes has been running a bit like more sluggish than usual, and to offer our explanation in a nutshell, like obviously work, personal life has gotten in the way. Obviously my stuff with the Jackals has gotten in the way, but thankfully, we straightened out for the most part, and we do expect to continue to upload episodes at least like once a week. We're gonna try to get 2 episodes out a week, but there may be some weeks like with my schedule where we may only be able to get out 1 episode for you guys. But that's basically it. For all like official updates in regards to our podcast. You could check out our Twitter like at GetYourGameOnP. We'll post all news regarding the podcast there. Michael, go ahead.
Viewers, we have in 3 days, one the very, very person's birthday it is on the podcast is going to be mine. My 27th birthday. So ladies and gentlemen, we gotta celebrate that at Get Your Game On family. Thank you for being real to us.
Thank you for reminding me, Michael. I will put out a happy birthday tweet, all right?
We need it. I need it, baby. I've been waiting.
We will put out a happy birthday tweet for you.
I've been waiting, and I've been waiting for this for a whole year, Adam.
Yeah. Also, one more thing. We will hope all of the people listening to this podcast had a very special 4th of July. We hope everyone listening to the podcast had a great Independence Day, whether you're having a cookout, barbecue, pool party, whatever you did during your 4th of July. We hope you enjoyed it to the fullest extent.
For me, we had a good 4th of July in my family. We're having a little 4th of July party tomorrow. So I'm telling everybody to have a good holiday. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your sports teams, even though my team lost today, and they won their second game today. But we're
gonna get into that.
Even though the Phillies won, and I'm still a little butthurt by it.
They lost today.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I think they lost to the Padres, right?
11-1.
Yeah, 11-1.
Yeah.
At least they won.
Yeah, did Manny Machado have 2 home runs?
Yep.
Manny Machado, guys, is the best player in the league today.
Michael,
Top
I don't
5.
like Manny Machado. Why would you say that?
I'm sorry, he is, Adam. He's a problem.
He's good, but I don't like him, so you should know not to say that in my presence. And Alex, what was with you and your Phillies? You let Manny Machado smack you around like that? Shame on you.
Manny Machado, at least we have to admit Manny Machado is a problem. He's one of the top 5 players in the whole league.
He's not one of the top 5 players in the league.
Mike, I think you're forgetting someone.
I could name
who?
10 players off the top of my head.
Mike is forgetting a big piece for them, which is Fernando Tatis.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Who's the top 5 players, Adam? Give me the top. Top 5.
I can give you. Let me give you all players off the top of my head. Mike Trout, that's an obvious one. Shohei Ohtani, Fernando Tatis Jr., Aaron Judge, Ronald Acuna Jr., that's 5 right there. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Juan Soto, Bryce Harper. I would take Bryce Harper over Manny Machado. Let's see who else.
You are fired.
Jose Altuve, even though I'll still take over Machado. I'll take Alex Bregman over Machado. Nolan Arenado, that's 11. Did I mention Fernando Tatis?
Yes, you already said it. Okay.
I think I did.
So if my man
I
was
would
not,
say
where
DJ
the
May,
heck
but
is
DJ's
Mookie Betts on
regressed.
your list?
Mookie Betts, that's another one. Cody Bellinger. That's
I'm a Dodger
13
fan,
off
and
the
I
top
take
of my
offense to
head that
Cody.
are better than Manny Machado. 13
Adam,
players off the top of my head.
Okay, Adam. That's just my opinion. I think Manny Machado is a problem. And if the Yankees would sign Manny Machado, hypothetically, would you be happy with it?
You know me. If anyone like follows me on Twitter back in 2018, like I was staunchly against the notion of the Yankees signing Manny Machado. I think it would have been a terrible signing.
So if he would have signed him, if the Yankees would have signed him, would you? And they won a championship.
If they won a championship, of course I would embrace it. But I'm not a fan of him. I don't like his attitude. I don't like his comments. I can I'm not gonna be the type of player who's gonna be like Johnny Ustle. First of all, it's Charlie Ustle, not Johnny Ustle. Get the name right first and foremost. Like I don't like his like dirty style of playing. Like I just don't like Manny Machado. Right? Can we just end it there?
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Get Your Game On podcast, Adam Grassani hates Manny Machado. You heard it first from us. You heard it first.
We were supposed to be talking about 4th of July and Michael had to make this conversation about Manny Machado. Thank you, Michael. But Alex, how is your 4th of July? Save us.
I love my job. I love you.
Alex, go.
Thank you for ruining the podcast, Mike.
Hey, I did not ruin no podcast. I made it interesting. I turned that question and flipped it. And ladies and gentlemen of our podcast, we never ever go on script. We may flip it up a little bit. My apologies, viewers. My apologies.
Mike, that was sarcasm.
I know. I know. I love sarcasm. I was being sarcastic. Mr. Reach. Adam,
all right. You guys ready to hear how I spent my 4th of July? You guys ready to hear how I spent my 4th of July? I was at the Yankees game today, the first one, and oh boy, where do I start? I mean, the Yankees right now, let's just call it what it is. They're not a good baseball team. I'm just gonna call it let's just call it what it is. The 2021 New York Yankees are not a good baseball team. Don't give me the fact that look at their talent, look at how good they should be on paper. Forget about that. Look at what the product they're putting on the field. They're barely a 500 team. They're not that good. Let's just so for all of them, I think it's time for us Yankee fans, you probably were gonna expect me to come on this page rant about how good the Yankees should be. You probably are expecting a rant this team was supposed to be World Series contenders. And you know what? Coming this season, that's what I thought. I thought this team was going to was the favorite to come out of the American League. I thought this team was supposed to compete for a World Series. Guess what? They're barely competing for. They might not even compete for a playoff spot this year. That's how bad it is. And honestly, guys, I'm trying to put words together. I think it's time that us Yankee fans just accept the reality that this team right now, as presently constructed, is not a World Series contending team. Let's just call it what it is, guys.
Hold up, A Boogie. No disrespect. But here's the thing. We're still in July, baby. We're still in July.
Yeah, we have July. 2 months half the season. We're past the halfway point of the season, Michael.
We can make it happen. Anything is possible. If the amazing Mets in the 1960s.
All right. Let me interrupt you for a second, Michael. Yeah, in baseball, anything's possible. But I'm going to ask you, what have you seen from this team that would lead you to believe that turnaround is on the horizon?
Adam, we're Yankees. We turn everything around. We will make that happen if I had Adam.
Oh, so we're just going back. Oh, we're the Yankees. Like we should turn it around. Like
We,
the Yankee name is gonna just magically make this team better. Like
Adam,
let me
we
explain.
suck every year during this time. So the Mets are great during this year. They flip flop. Adam, I don't give up until the 3 weeks
I'm not
before the
saying give
playoffs.
up. I'm not saying give up, but
Well,
I think
sounds
it's
like
time that listen. If the Yankees like go on a miraculous run, let's say like what? Let's see, how many games do they have left in the season? Let me see here. They're
at least 40.
let's see. They're what? 42 and 41. They have what? 81 games left on the season. If they go like 60 and 21 in those games, I will happily eat my words, and I will offer a formal apology to Hal Steinbrenner, Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, all the Yankees players, and I will offer a formal apology to the entire Yankees organization if that happens. But I'm sorry. There is nothing that about this team that can lead me to believe that is going to that is going to happen. Let me explain why. Like, and I'm sick of this notion for fans, and people are blaming this roster, blaming this season directly on Hal Steinbrenner, and like the Yankees refuse to go over the luxury tax. Now, I will admit, if that report, like for those who don't know, like Michael Kay apparently is, I don't know if it was reported by Michael Kay, but I do know Michael Kay mentioned it that both Kyle Schwarber and Michael Brantley were interested in the Yankees, and the Yankees turned down both of them because they didn't want to go over the luxury tax. Now, if that is accurate, then yes, us Yankee fans, I said before, like in the offseason, Michael Brantley is one of my biggest free agent targets, and I think like they can make a huge mistake not signing him. And if they just missed out on it because they didn't want to like just spend the money, then obviously that is shameful. And Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner
Shame on you.
should be ashamed of themselves if that's the case, if that was really the reason. But here's the thing. Let's say Yankees did sign Michael Brantley. Let's say he did. Is that all of a sudden gonna fix like all the problems on our team? Are they like a Michael Brantley or a Ketel Marte, a Joey Gallo, or Kyle Schwarber away from becoming a World Series contending team? No, this is here's the thing. We could get on Hal Steinbrenner for not wanting to go over the luxury tax. At the end of the day, the Yankees still have the second highest payroll in baseball. They have a payroll of $201 million. That should be more than enough to build a World Series contending team. That should be more than enough. And I think that falls on Brian Cashman for not because this is the roster that Brian Cashman built. And that roster right now is 42 and 41. This is a team that was expected to do at the very least get to the World Series. This is I'll say this again. I said this on Twitter. I'm going to say it right now. This is a very, very flawed roster that Brian Cashman built. They're way too right-handed. They don't hit with runners in scoring position. They're very unathletic. Gleyber Torres, who you watch him, everyone on Twitter mentions of how slow he is for a shortstop. Guess what? He currently leads the Yankees in stolen bases. If that doesn't tell you how unathletic, and how poor of a base running this, and how poorly of a base running team that this is, I don't tell you. They're terrible at running the bases. They're not a great defensive team. The one thing they are good at, the only thing they are good at, is hitting home runs, which I believe they're 10th in majors in home runs. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Now, here's the thing. In previous seasons, in 2020, and I guess to a lesser extent in 2019 and 2018, they were able to hit enough home runs to mask the many, and I mean many, warts on this team. They were able to hit enough home runs to as like those warts that I mentioned. Now with the new balls, with now that Major League Baseball has taken away the juice balls and it's become they've deadened the ball and it's become harder to hit home runs, and as a result the Yankees aren't hitting as much home runs. The rest of the warts and flaws of this team that I mentioned, they stick out like a sore thumb. And that's just the way it is. And again, if you want to get on like the Yankees for not making a move to sign Kyle Schwarber and Michael Bradley, I completely understand and I share that frustration with you. But here's the thing: the refusal to go over the luxury tax to fix problems on the team. They shouldn't have to go over a luxury tax when the $201 million, like Brian Cashman, like $201 million, that should be big enough of a payroll for his team to not have those flaws in the first place. You're asking Brian Cashman and the Yankees and Hal Steinbrenner and the Yankees to go over the luxury tax to fix problems that they shouldn't have in the first place. Alex, do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. And Hal Steinbrenner recently spoke to the media, and to give you a basic gist of what he says, he's not blaming Brian Cashman, he's not blaming Aaron Boone, and he's blaming the players. And to a certain extent, I agree with Hal on that, because let's not like be around the bush here. Let's not try to put lipstick on a pig. The Yankees players have underperformed this season, like from top to bottom. Like, honestly, can you name me one Yankee that hasn't underperformed this season?
Hasn't?
That hasn't underperformed to some extent. The only two I can think of is
Chapman.
Aaron.
I'm joking. Adam, I'm joking. I just want to see your reaction.
Michael,
Adam,
please tell me that was sarcasm.
It was sarcasm.
Please tell me that was sarcasm.
It was sarcasm. I just want to see your face.
Okay, don't ever do that again, all right?
Yeah. I just wanted to screw with you.
All right. But aside, the only two, like Aaron Judge is having a great season, like an MVP caliber.
Who hasn't performed?
Aaron Judge had a great season. Let's say Gio Urshela, in my opinion, like is playing
Alex,
up to his potential.
Shame
Gary
on you.
Gary Sanchez like has played well. So those
and
three
Giancarlo
guys,
Stanton.
I
You got about Stanton.
Stanton, not really. I mean, he's up and down. Like he's hot and he's cold. Like
so Chapman hasn't been performing.
I'm gonna get to that in a second, Michael. Now shut up before I have to mute.
Who you tell to shut up, you little midget?
Let me finish my take. But literally, aside from those three guys that I mentioned, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, and Gio Urshela, everyone else on the Yankees has disappointed. Gleyber Torres, like, who I've been like an apologist for, I've been a defender for. I can't defend the guy anymore. The guy has just been terrible this season. Terrible. His batting average is down. His on-base percentage is not very good. Like he draws a lot of walks, but because like his batting average is so low, like his on-base percentage suffers. And his slugging percentage is like, oh my god, like the guy has hit for like absolutely zero power. He has like 3 home runs on the season. This is a guy who he's had like in his first 2 seasons in the big leagues, Gleyber Torres has had 62 home runs. That's an average of every 162 games of 38 home runs a year. That's over 162 games. That's an average of 38 home runs. In his last 2 seasons, 2020 and 2021, he has had 6 home runs. The guy's power is just absolutely dipped. Like, and not just home runs, extra base hits too. He's only had 9 doubles on the year. 9 doubles. So the guy's had 12 extra base hits all year. And like, this is a small sample size. It's July. We're like halfway through the season. And this guy's power has just completely dipped. DJ LeMahieu, like, he's gotten better like in recent weeks, but still, for a guy that just won on the batting title and just finished top 4 in the MVP voting back-to-back years, he's definitely disappointed. I mean, Clint Frazier, after having a great season last year, he's disappointed. Luke Voigt, like, you give Luke Voigt a bit of a pass since he was been injured so much of the season, but still, when he's played, he hasn't looked nearly as good as he did last year. So Hal Steinbrenner definitely has a point. Like, the Yankees, like, players have definitely underperformed, but honestly, like, you can't absolve the coaching staff here. I'm sorry. You can't absolve the coaching staff here. Aaron Boone, God bless his soul. The guy's just like, honestly, like, if the Yankees miss the playoffs, he should be gone. He should be fired. Let's just call it what it is. If the Yankees miss the playoffs, Aaron Boone better not be managing his team in 2020. Because, again, the complaint I have with Aaron Boone is that the guy, and I've said this in past episodes, the guy is just way too relaxed. He doesn't have that he doesn't bring out like the best of his players the way like an Alex Cora does. Like, because as like Alex Cora, you look at the difference like between the Red Sox in 2020 and now Alex Cora is back managing a team. Look at that 90-day difference. The players play hard for Alex Cora. Alex Cora has the respect of his club. Like I was saying, he keeps them disciplined. Aaron Boone, at least in my opinion, like, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, so don't hold me to this, but Aaron Boone just doesn't seem to hold the players accountable enough. I feel like that results in a lot of sloppy base, obviously, the errors, the sloppy base running. I feel that is just all a part of Aaron Boone's just, in my opinion, lax demeanor. And honestly, guys, can you name me? Can you name me one player that was from the 2017 team with Joe Girardi? And now with Aaron Boone, can you name me one player that's gotten better under Aaron Boone's watch? Let's see, Aaron Judge, like, although he's been great, he's been excellent. Like, he hasn't had that outs. Like, in 2017, he should have won the AL MVP. We still, even though he's been excellent, he hasn't been like at that level.
I just think Joe Girardi was one of the worst managers for the Yankees. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion.
We had this debate before, Michael. I don't take and honestly, let's just agree to disagree and move on. But Gary Sanchez,
we'll agree to disagree.
All right,
Joe,
like Gary Sanchez. You look at him in 20, even though he's played better of late. You compare his numbers from 2016 to 2017 under Girardi, and you look at his numbers under Boone. It's a night and day difference. So the team has a lot of players have definitely like I just don't see how Aaron Boone gets the most out of players. I just don't think like he's the right manager for the Yankees going forward. Now, I'm not saying it's all his fault. Because again, this is a flawed roster that Brian Cashman like put together. Hal Steinbrenner not willing to go over the luxury tax is a problem. So there are other problems with this team besides Boone, but honestly, like, I feel like he's done nothing to help the situation. If anything, he's definitely contributed to this disappointment on the baseball field we're seeing. Go ahead, Alex.
I'm interested to see how they do against Seattle this upcoming week. Since Seattle is above 500.
You know what, boys?
We'll definitely see
Here's
that.
The thing.
Go ahead.
Every Yankee game on my birthday, they have never lost on July 7th since I've been watching baseball. So
All right, so say we can pencil them in for a win then.
yeah, we are getting a win on my birthday. Every year I pray for the Yankees to win my birthday, July 7th, and they always win. So Adam, we're gonna get a W on that day.
I'll hold you to that, Michael. But now let's talk about going forward for this team. Let's talk about what the Yankees are going to do going forward, because as right now, in my opinion, this season is a wash. In my opinion, we'll see what happens. Again, I would love to be proven wrong, but as right now, this season is a wash. So let's focus on the elephant in the room, and that is the trade deadline. And who are the Yankees? Are the Yankees going to be buyers or are the Yankees going to be sellers? That's the big debate going on right now in Yankee land. Should the Yankees be buyers and try to get back into this playoff race, or should they be sellers? And right now, guys, I'm kind of in the middle. I think they should do a little bit of both, but I'm leaning more towards sell. I'm leaning more towards sell because there are some pieces on this team like that I think because I think the Yankees I'm not necessarily saying they need to completely rebuild. I'm not advocating for that, but there needs to be some changes made to this roster. There needs to be some changes made like obviously to cover all the flaws I mentioned earlier. Again, way too right-handed. They need more lefty bats. They need to get more athletic. They need to run the bases better. Like all that good stuff. All that stuff I mentioned. I mean, obviously they need some pitching depth too. Don't forget that. So I definitely think they should be they should kind of like be a mix of both. I mean, if if here's the thing though, if there's a guy that could at least help address the flaws, honestly, there's no player in my opinion, that's getting traded that's gonna fix all the Yankees problems. It's going to trade deadline. So I'm not advocating for that, but if there is a player that's available at the trade deadline that could fix, I mentioned him earlier, if Ketel Marte is available, he's a center fielder. He switch hits. He's having a great season. If Ketel Marte is available, I definitely make a trade for him because he's athletic. He plays great center field. He hits for a high average. He has some pop to his bat. Ketel Marte, in my opinion, would be a great addition to his team. So if a guy like that is available, I definitely look into making that trade. As long as you hold on to as long as you don't sacrifice too much of your arm system. Because again, I do think the Yankees the Yankees should also look to sell some pieces. They number one is Aroldis Chapman. I'm gonna be honest. I was at the game today. I'm sorry, the 4th of July, the first one where Aroldis Chapman blew a save, and I'm honestly just fed up with the guy. I mean, the guy is so much fun to watch. I'll give him that. He throws the guy just throws. He's fun to watch. I'll give him that. But year after year, this guy just goes into these phases where you can't even recognize the guy. This happens over and over where he just can't. He goes into these stretches where he can't find a plate, and he's basically just throwing meatballs. So we just saw that with the homer Alonso guy, man. He's been terrible in clutch situations in the past. Looking at the World Series Game 7 2016 when he gave up that game time home run. Look at the time where he gave up the walk-off home run to Jose Altuve in 2019. Look at what in 2020 where he gave up what would be the game-hanging home run to the Rays. The guy has just not proven to me to have the ice in his vein. He just doesn't have the he just doesn't have that ice in his face. I think the Yankees would be really beneficial of just moving on from him. He's making what $18 million. If you trade him, you clear up all that money in cap room. So I think that's a guy that Yankees should be looking to trade now. There's one more there's two more things regarding the Yankees before we can move on. There's two more things. Number one is guys, I'm worried about Garrett Cole. I am worried about Garrett Cole.
Why?
Because it is like, let me see here. Let me look this up here for you guys. Because again, I like to make sure I get all our information as accurate as possible. So, in the month of June, do you know what Garrett Cole's ERA is in the month of June? 4.65. And this is around the time where the whole conversation regarding sticky stuff strides. Like, so ever since that came out and MLB is starting to crack down on sticky stuff, Garrett Cole has regressed. And we all saw how poorly he pitched in the game in the first game against the Mets. We saw how poorly he pitched. He gave up wow, what was it, 4 earned runs in what, 3 and a third innings, I believe. I mean, I'm not sure of how accurate that is, but the guy has definitely regressed. Now here's the thing. It could be Garrett Cole has had these sort of slumps in the past. I remember in 2019, he had a slump with the Astros, and in 2020, he slumped he had a slump as well, and he eventually rebounded from that. So Garrett Cole could end up rebounding. And could end up pitching excellent throughout the rest of the season. He could go on to win an AL Cy Young, and then all these problems all these concerns about Cole are could be vanished. But I'm sorry, with this conversation surrounding sticky stuff and Garrett Cole not having that advantage anymore. It just, and we see how poorly he's pitched. I'm sorry, it's gotta at least be a thought, guys. It's gotta at least be in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You agree, Alex?
My question is, who would the Yankees look at if they want to sell Garrett Cole?
Trade Garrett Cole?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to trade Garrett Cole. I'd be shocked if they trade Garrett Cole. Unless the only way they trade Garrett Cole is if you're completely blowing it up. The only way to trade Garrett Cole is if you're completely blowing up. And that means, you're looking to trade Judge, you're looking to trade Stanton, you're looking to trade Torres. The only way to do it is if you're completely blowing up and going to a full-on rebuild, which I am against I'm still against the Yankees going to a full-on rebuild. I do think that they should look off to sell some pieces at the deadline and try to reboot for 2020 and beyond. But I don't think they should make a full-on rebuild. And that leads me to this last point about the Yankees, is that there's a lot of conversation surrounding the Yankees and Aaron Judge and his future with the team, because I believe not this offseason, but the offseason after that, Aaron Judge becomes a free agent, and he's obviously gonna command a lengthy contract, and rightfully so. He's one of at least top 10, maybe even top 5 players in all of baseball. He's one of the best players in the game, so he's gonna command a lot of money. And now with the disappointing season the Yankees have had, and them looking to potentially sell at the deadline, and a lot of people are asking a question: do the Yankees trade Aaron Judge? And my answer to that, I still say no, but I can't make it an emphatic no. In the past, if you asked me this question 2 weeks, a month ago, I would have been emphatic no. You gotta call out to Aaron Judge, make him a Yankee for life and everything. I would have shut you down about potentially trading Judge, at least at the deadline. But here's the thing, guys. If this season, this disappointing season, is a sign of things to come for the Yankees, and if you are at the point of the favor of the Yankees going out into a rebuild, there's no better time to trade Aaron Judge than now. There's no better time, because the guy would still have a year left on his contract. He's having an amazing season. He's in, so you could get back a haul for Aaron Judge if you decide to trade him at the deadline. Like, you could really like get back a lot. Now, I still don't think the Yankees should do it because I still think that Aaron Judge like is a vital part of this team potentially like making a rebound in like in like 2022 and beyond. Like, I still think the Yankees like would be better off make sure he like offering him that contract extension, like with whether it's like whatever terms are, assuming like they aren't anything like too crazy. I think they would be better off extending him, but that's another point. Whenever and this is what the Yankees need to do. They need to sit down with Aaron Judge and his agent and have a discussion with them about like the future of this team. Like, because if the Yankees like do, here's the thing, if the Yankees do believe that they could turn around like going beyond like either this year or next year, and if they do believe that this roster they could make changes to this roster and like fix up some of the holes and still build around Aaron Judge and make this team like the World Series contending team that it's supposed to be. If they believe they could do that, then they should definitely extend Aaron Judge. And assuming that Aaron Judge's price range like is they can work out like the terms, and they should definitely do it. But if Aaron Judge like asking price is like exceeds where the Yankees want to go, which they always do at first, but eventually after the negotiations, like a couple of the two sides come to agreement. But if like Aaron Judge's like asking price is like to a point where the Yankees like likely won't go to, and they're looking towards a rebuild, like it would kill me as a fan like to see Aaron Judge go. It would kill me on the inside, but in the long-term interest of this team, it might be for the best if they decide to move on from Judge. But Alex, you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Michael?
100%, baby.
All right. That's all the Yankees we're gonna talk for now. I mean, it's just not fun times in Yankee land. I mean, hopefully things like hopefully a month from now, like things we'll be talking happier times in Yankee land. But as of right now, things are looking very, very bleak, at least for this season. Before we get to Mike's hot take, I do want to share this story with you guys because, as you guys know, we are not shy from talking about these difficult subjects. And again, like we've got to talk about this story. Los Angeles Dodgers ace Trevor Bauer has faced some very, very serious assault allegations. Mike, Alex, you hear about the story?
I did not hear about it. I didn't hear about it.
All right, so let me as usual, I'm gonna ask you guys to remain quiet so I can feed you all the details about the story. But long story short, Trevor Bauer is being accused of sexual assault by by a woman who has filed a restraining order against him. So apparently, Trevor Bauer and this woman met on April 21st, and they had sex, and it was initially consensual, but it eventually got to a point where Trevor Bauer ended up choking her, and then put his fingers down her throat, and then she claims that he wrapped her hair around her neck and choked her choked her unconscious. So that was the first incident. I believe there was another time. So they went. So this is the first time they had sex. They then had sex again on May 15th, and then again he started choking her to the point where unconscious, and Bauer like punched her in the head several times. And apparently like she has head trauma, and apparently like he has like a fractured skull. I mean, this is just like really, really serious allegations against Trevor Bauer. Now, Trevor Bauer, well, not Trevor Bauer himself, but Trevor Bauer's, was it? I believe his attorney released a statement denying the allegations and claimed that everything they did, like during sexual intercourse, was consensual. And apparently they turned over a text like saying that this woman like reportedly asked to be choked, asked to be hit, like all of
Some
all
women
of
may
that
be into
stuff.
that shit.
So,
Some women are into that, Adam. You'd be surprised.
I mean, I know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some women are. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you're obviously the ladies expert here, Michael. So you're obviously like, you can obviously like tell more about this stuff than I do. But here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna turn the floor over to you guys. But here's what I'm gonna say. If this stuff is true, if like the reports of this woman are accurate, if like these reports from the Athletic, like, and like all this stuff is accurate, Trevor Bauer needs to be behind bars. That is just despicable and disgusting behavior that I will just never tolerate. The guy needs to serve like some sort of jail or is a sense, if all this stuff is accurate.
What's homeboy's name?
Trevor Bauer. Yeah, and for
But
those
they,
of you who don't know, this is not Trevor Bauer's. Go ahead, Alex.
I'm not sure if it's happening, but are they holding a trial for it?
I believe that I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think a trial day has been set. No, I don't think a trial day has been set. Like, but for those of you who don't know, like Michael, I'm sure you're not familiar with though. Trevor Bauer, I've never liked the guy. I've always thought he was I always thought he was a bad guy. I never liked the guy. Like
Adam.
and these allegations like are just a cherry on top. But 101, and this is not his first time getting in trouble with women either. Like, I believe, what was it, in 2018 or 2019, he harassed a 17-year-old online. Like he like got into like some sort of Twitter beef with like a 17-year-old girl, and like basically harassed her on Twitter. So
30 and he harassed some women. What's
I
wrong
mean,
with you?
I mean, this is the type of individual we're dealing with, Michael. This guy, like, I mean, this guy. Now, at the same time, I've always have and always will be a believer in innocent until proven guilty. So, Trevor Bauer, as much as I don't like him, he deserves he has a right to an attorney. He deserves a right to an attorney and defense, and he does deserve his day in court. But knowing Trevor Bauer's character, and I, as you know, I like to believe victims. I like to believe them because it takes an incredible amount of courage to come forward with this. Would I be surprised if these allegations are true? Absolutely not. Because, yeah. And honestly, and let me just say, let's say everything Mr. Bauer is up. Let's say everything like Trevor Bauer said is true. That everything he did, like, let's say everything they did was consensual, and that these reports are like being exaggerated as well, which I am not accuse this woman of like making false allegations. I'm not accusing her of making exaggerated claims. Let me make that clear. I am not accusing this woman of making false or exaggerated claims. Let me make that clear right now. But let's say that what Trevor Bauer is saying is true, and that everything he did was consensual. It's still a bad job by Trevor Bauer for even getting involved in this situation, man. For getting involved in this. Let's look at this Trevor Bauer. You're a professional athlete who's obviously professional athletes are some of the most. If you're a professional athlete, like I don't care what sport you play, you are an incredibly fit dude. So, you are definitely if you got into a fight with someone, you are capable of causing damage. Literally, and you have this woman asking you to choke her, asking you to hit her, and you go ahead and get yourself involved in the situation. What did you think was gonna happen? I mean, it's still so it's no matter what, Trevor Bauer could be proven innocent in this. Could be 100% innocent technically in this case. I still think it's a bad look for him to even get involved in the situation. I mean, anyone else have anything left to say about this Trevor Bauer story?
Nope.
All right, but again, so that's all we could say for now. But we're gonna just again, if there is an update to this story, update to this story, we will definitely let our listeners know. But now it's time to get to move on to what pun am I gonna use this time? The segment of the show that is like a that is like a therapist, and that it cures is that it can do anything. It cures anxiety and depression.
Oh,
Mike's
baby.
hot take. Michael Cunningham, take it away.
Oh, Adam, baby, you hyped me up today, brother. You know what, boys? I was thinking about, I got two things I got to say. We all heard about the Scottie Pippen accusations on Phil Jackson. Here's the thing about Phil Jackson being a racist. Much as I love Scottie Pippen and I love the Bulls and I love the Lakers, I don't think Phil Jackson was a racist. Here's why. Phil Jackson is from Montana. He grew up around the Indian reservation. Everybody that knows basketball knows Phil Jackson grew up around the Indian reservation growing up, being around Indians. And Phil, one, he is not racist. And the second thing is, remember, I don't think y'all will be able to remember this. There was a 1994 playoff game between the Pacers and the Bulls, Game 4. Pippen was their best player. He was the All-Star Game MVP. Here's the thing. Pippen missed 2 shots back-to-back. Reggie Miller tied the shot to tie the game up. I think it was a lead to tie the game up, whatever. Phil Jackson called a play for Pippen to check into the ball game. Pippen didn't want to pass the ball in. He wanted to take the final shot. But Kukoc made the shot for the final play previous in the season. So, boys, Pippen wanted to be the Jordan now because this is when Jordan was playing baseball during his baseball career. You know what I'm saying, Adam? Mm-hmm. So Pippen wanted to be the guy. So he said, "Nope, I'm not taking the shot. Don't put me in." And this was over 24 years ago. Now this was in 24. So this is when I've been alive. So this is over 27 years ago. And this is a grudge that Scottie Pippen has with Phil Jackson. Hell, you just won 3 championships the year before. You're the defending champions. Y'all did good without Michael Jordan this year. Most Bulls fans thought, hell, MJ retired. We're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, my opinion is, Kukoc made the game-winning shot. You should be happy. You should be ecstatic. But however, Scottie, I know Scottie, has some grudges, left. But however, I think, in my opinion, boys, Scottie Pippen wants to think Phil Jackson is racist. That's his opinion. But however, I'm thinking he's selling his book because he has a book coming out. He called and then Michael Jordan, who watches every Bulls game when he was retired, he would make time to watch the Bulls game, watch playoff games. He said that was very selfish for Scottie Pippen taking himself off the game to win the playoff game at home, which was Game 4. And everybody knows me. I'm a diehard basketball fan. I live for the game. I breathe. I'm a student of it. I believe Phil Jackson isn't a racist. And then you got stupid ass Skip Bayless. And we're going to appreciate it. Just stupid ass Skip Bayless that says, oh, well, now he's bashing against LeBron now. Now, this part, I have a part 1 and part 2 of my hot take. Part 1 of my hot take is Sky Pippen. You never said that about Phil Jackson. I know you're trying to get your book sold, but then you roast Michael Jordan, the reason who made you into a player, a top 15 all-time players of all time caliber player, and gave you 6 championships. And it's not Phil Jackson's fault you signed a shitty contract with the Bulls until 1999. 2, you want it's then you called Michael Jordan selfish for playing baseball to honor his late father who just got shot and killed in North Carolina, who he said on record that, oh, I want to play baseball. You know what I mean, boys? Honestly, speaking for my family, if my father passed away right now and wanted me to play baseball, that was his dying wish. Shit, I'll play baseball. You know what I mean, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
That's part 1 of my hot take. Part 2 of it.
Before you get to your part 2 of your hot take, Michael, I just wanted to chime in here. Like, honestly, like, Sky Pippen, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Honestly, like, this is like, honestly, he knows Phil Jackson like better than I do, so obviously, like, he obviously is more credible stuff. But if you're gonna accuse someone of being racist, I mean, my guy, you gotta have like you gotta come up with like more stuff.
Better reason.
Michael, like, as a black man, would you ever like seriously accuse someone of being racist without like having like some evidence to back it up?
I gotta have evidence. For me as a black man, good question, Adam. For me, I gotta know your personality. If you treat black people differently how you treat white people, and Asians and Spanish, anybody can be racist. There's like anybody can be racist.
Definitely. It's the thing. Accuse someone of being racist, that's a pretty serious thing to accuse someone of. That's
Especially in this generation, you gotta be careful and you gotta show proof that they know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
Because in this generation, you can say, oh, he's racist. People could take your word for it.
Like, you got to be careful of what you say in this world, especially in like 2021 in this age.
You gotta be careful what you say.
Okay,
Alex,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
All right. My part 2 podcast. Alex Pop Quiz. Which sports reporter do I hate more than anybody in life?
Skip Bayless.
Adam?
Skip Bayless.
Correct. You guys win the grand prize of $1 million. But here's what I think. Skip Bayless has the audacity to say LeBron James shouldn't be at a women's LA Sparks game to watch the Sparks play to watch their game. And then he has dignity to say that D Wade's at the game, LeBron's at the game, and Damian Lillard, who's at the game showing love to LeBron, for saying that they planned it. First of all, everybody knows LeBron has a 5-year-old, 6-year-old daughter named Zuri. Zariah or Zuri, whatever you pronounce it. She wants to play basketball like her dad. She has her own channel. He's trying to encourage LeBron is a girl dad, just like Kobe was a girl dad. And Skip Bayless has the audacity to say, oh, LeBron James' best friend Chris Paul is playing in the NBA West Conference Finals in LA, and this is LeBron's town, this is LeBron's stadium, that he should be at the game. Honestly, LeBron's a big star. LeBron goes to the Clippers game, Suns game that day. Skip Bayless, you piece of shit. LeBron will take the freaking spotlight off of Chris Paul. And however, I'm a Laker fan and Knicks fan. Everybody knows that my favorite teams are the Knicks and Lakers. That doesn't mean LeBron James hanging out with Damian Lillard, whose contract ends up this year, is going to the Lakers. That doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. People have to realize that. So Skip Bayless, you are the asshole of the week and the turkey of the week and the douchebag. So This is why you should don't talk about sports.
I mean, yeah.
Mark Cuban, what?
I completely agree with you, Michael.
Mark Cuban owned you. Nelly owned you. Stephen A. Smith was on your show on First Take. What happened? He owned you. So Skip Bayless, Jalen Rose, the list can go on. Skip Bayless, what was your average in basketball for all 4 years? 2.2? Hell, Adam could give me at least 10 points. Skip Bayless, you're an overrated reporter that doesn't know shit. You don't know shit. Hell, my left butt cheek knows more about sports than you do. So Skip Bayless, if you're watching this and hearing this, you don't know crap about sports. You should give up your sports job. Go write something for a local news port or a college and learn about sports before you criticize somebody. I hate LeBron as an athlete, but I love him as a person. Mm-hmm. Hell, you just hate him as an athlete and a person. He's trying to make himself great and trying to represent
the fact that Skip Bayless hates LeBron as a person. I mean, it's just like again, it's fine if you want to criticize LeBron and whether or not he's like the greatest of all time. If you want to criticize him from a basketball standpoint, like that's completely fine. Like that's completely
fine. But as a person,
if you're gonna go into his personal life and how he like spends his free time, I mean, why? Like, what are you doing?
Come on, Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless, where were you at?
Is that really the best you can do to come up with get clicks?
Really hold up, Adam. I ain't done. I got more Skip Bayless to bash. Skip Bayless.
All right, make it quick though. We gotta move on.
Come on, There's always time for Skip Bayless bashing.
All right, make it quick. You got a minute. Go ahead.
2 minutes. So 1 minute.
Go.
2, 1 and 30. Point in, Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless, on the behalf of Get Your Game On, as Michael Cunningham, Adam Grassani, and Alexander Rich, we call you the biggest jackass in sports history. And I hate Jerry Krause. You're up there. So I wish Jerry Krause is probably killing more sports again. Skip Bayless, I hope you rot to death. You are a piece of shit. You don't know sports. You should just stop talking and stick to your day job. You may need to kiss LeBron's ass because he's the reason why you're making all that money in the first place on hating on LeBron. So Skip Bayless on the Get Your Game On podcast, we salute you. You can kiss my ass and go drop the soap in prison because you're gonna be Bubba's bitch in there. Thank you, Skip Bayless, for being a piece of shit. And this is the end of my hot take.
All right. Honestly, I think that was one of your buried hot takes in a while, Michael. I mean, obviously, we've always approved like your takes and everything, but this one, I think you really brought the heat this time. This is definitely like one of your better ones. So congratulations.
Hey, if it's anything with Skip Bayless, I'm gonna give him 130%.
All right.
He's just a piece.
All right.
He's a piece of yeah. Calm down.
Right. In case you couldn't tell, I approve. Alex, go ahead.
Approve.
Okay, so you are now like 25 approved, Michael. Only 3 denied. Congratulations.
So everybody at a Get Your Game On crew, I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, but for Skip Bayless, I'm gonna be biased as hell.
Right.
So Adam's hatred for Manny Machado and Alex's hatred for I don't know, but my hatred is for Skip Bayless and Jerry Krause. It's way, way up there. So Skip Bayless, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so we gotta move on to guess what, guys? We have an NBA Finals matchup.
Oh, baby.
The Phoenix Suns against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, baby.
Oh my
Will Giannis be playing in game 1? Yes.
All right, we're gonna jump into that right now. I feel like this series is good. A lot of it's gonna depend on the health of Giannis. I feel like if Giannis is healthy, I think the series is going 7 games. Honestly, I think the series is going 7 games if Giannis is healthy.
Hold up, Adam.
Giannis
this series is gonna be a good one.
if Giannis isn't healthy, then I think the Suns are probably gonna
Sweep.
ultimately win it in 5.
Honestly, boys, it's gonna be the series I've been waiting for. Can Chris Paul wait 16 years to win this championship? I'm saying this on record, boys. If the Phoenix Suns win the championship, Chris Paul is staying in Phoenix. He will stay in Phoenix. You know why, guys?
Go ahead.
His contract comes up this year.
Ooh.
So I think if Chris Paul loses, he's staying. He's leaving. He's leaving Phoenix. If he wins, he's staying. But however, I'm saying this: if Giannis plays in this series, goes to 7 games, Bucks win in 7. But here's the thing: I got a question for you both. If Giannis wins this series, do you think he's the best player in this decade? Because they said this will be Giannis' decade.
Mm-hmm.
So what do y'all think? I think if Giannis wins, he's the best player in this decade.
If Giannis wins, he's the best player of this decade.
Yeah, in this decade. Because LeBron had the 2010.
I mean, here's the thing, Michael. This decade just began. This will
But
only be
honestly,
like the second. This will only be the second championship of this decade. So to declare Giannis, even if he does win, if you think he'll go on to be that player of this decade, fine. But to declare him, if he wins it, to declare him that after just one championship, I think that's way too premature.
Here's the thing, bro. They were saying the same thing about LeBron back in the day. When LeBron didn't win any championships in 2010, they're saying him and Kobe, LeBron was like the best player of the decade, which he wasn't until he won that first championship in 2012.
Yeah, but here's the thing: LeBron added to his championships. That he won 2 more championships, and he became the best player of the decade. He wasn't just crowned the best player of the decade after he won his first championship. He had to add on top of that. So I mean to say that so that's what I think. If Giannis does win the championship and the Bucks do win the championship, then yeah, I do. I do agree. It'll be huge for him to finally get his first ring. I do think he will also really go down as right now as the best player of the decade. But to declare him that after just one championship that he hasn't even won yet, I'm sorry, that's just too premature. But getting back to the Phoenix Suns, I mean, can you just imagine how? And this is my issue with the MVP award. If we're going by MVP, take a look at what Chris Paul has done to this Phoenix Suns team. Really, just take a look at what he's done to this team. He took a team that was correct me if I'm wrong, Michael.
They were the 10th seed last year. They were the 10th seed last year.
Yeah, they were the 10th seed in the West last year. And he's elevated them to not only the first seed, no, I'm sorry, second seed in the West, but it's team that is in and arguably the favorite to win the championship. Look at Chris Paul has just been unbelievable for the Suns. I'm not taking that take credit away from Devin Booker, who in my opinion has really elevated himself to superstar status. I mean, if we're talking about the best players in the NBA, Devin Booker's name has to start being in that conversation. The guy, he's proven that he could be the best player on a championship team. He's proven that he is at least capable of being the best player on a championship team. The guy has just been unbelievable, and again, I just think the series is gonna come down to the health of Giannis. I think if Giannis comes back and he's close to 100%, I do think the Bucks have a fighting chance. But I do think the series will go at least 6, if not 7 games. But if not, But if Giannis isn't healthy, I think it's gonna be an easy, it's gonna be easy to it's gonna be easy for the Suns. Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough series. I like the Chris Middleton matchup with Phoenix. It's going to be very interesting to see how he performs at a high level as what he's done the whole year, and he's a great player for Milwaukee. And even if Giannis is not healthy and doesn't play game one, he's going to be a big factor for Milwaukee. And I just think that him with uh, the other guy, Forbes, uh, and since he's been shooting lights out uh, during these playoffs, and I think that I think Phoenix can win in 5 if Giannis doesn't start the first a game or two. But it's no matter what, it's definitely gonna be a tight series, and I do see Milwaukee having a chance to win if Giannis is healthy. But if he's not willing to be playing game one, I think it's Phoenix that will win the 2021 finals.
So let me check you on something else. So you're saying like let's say Giannis like misses game one, but he comes back for the rest of the series. Like, you still don't think like the Bucks will have a fighting chance if Giannis comes back in game two?
Oh, absolutely, they will.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
because if Giannis just misses like that one game, like for one game, I still think like and again comes back, I still think the Bucks have a fighting chance. That's why like I think like if you're the Bucks and if Giannis just needs to, if Giannis like just needs like that one day to get fully healthy, I think you rest him game one. If he just needs that one day rather than try to force him out there for game one, because then like you could aggravate the injury and then make it worse, and then what? Then you're definitely don't have a fighting chance.
yeah. It just I just think that he needs to play as much as possible to put Milwaukee in a great position of doing what they need to do, which is having the chance to beat Phoenix and be the champion. But it's just going to be a very hard, challenging series if Giannis doesn't play game one. But if he comes back game two, then my opinion would change, and that Milwaukee will have
I mean, if Giannis misses like game two, then yeah, I think the Bucks are in trouble.
I mean,
if he misses like an extended portion of the series, then yeah, the Bucks are definitely gonna be in trouble. But if he just misses like at most just one game, then I think the Bucks will still have a fighting chance.
Yeah, just that the momentum will shift to Phoenix if Giannis doesn't play game one or two.
Because here's the they're in Phoenix to open the series, like so. Honestly, the Bucks just need to steal one of those games. Really, they just need to take one of those games, and then like, and then they'll like be in a jar seat when they head back home to Milwaukee to potentially like go up to go up 3-1 with their home court advantage. Michael, you have something to say?
No, I'm Gucci, dog.
I mean, there's a bunch of ways we could break down this series. I mean, but here's the thing, like, I think obviously the NBA is a star-driven league, but Giannis is definitely like the engine to the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks have great players to get around. As a Nets fan, I know. I mean, with how they eliminated us, but I mean, they got guys that can play. They got Chris Middleton. I mean, Drew Holiday, PJ Tucker, my boy Brook Lopez, who as a Nets fan, a big part of me is rooting for the Milwaukee Bucks because I really want to see Brook Lopez get that ring. Like for all the stuff he's done for the franchise, for all the years that he's been for all his years as a net, I really hope he does get that ring. So part of me is rooting for the Milwaukee Bucks for that reason. So Brook Lopez, if you're listening, Nets Nation salutes you, and we wish you the best of luck in the 2021 NBA Finals. But yeah, I mean, the Bucks have some guys, but Giannis is clearly like the engine of that team. He's clearly like the guy that makes that team go. I mean, and the Phoenix Suns, they got guys that can play too, like obviously Chris Paul and we mentioned Chris Paul and Devin Booker, but DeAndre Ayton, I mean, I think a big step forward. So both teams have got some guys on their team that can play. So I think this is gonna be a very fun series. And I said before, if Giannis like is healthy and he at most like maybe he's like misses one game, I would be shocked this series doesn't go at least 6 games. I think it's gonna be a very competitive series, and not like last season where one team just clear when we all knew like the Lakers were gonna ultimately beat the Heat. I think this is gonna be a very competitive series. Which honestly, guys, I think like is a good thing for the NBA because when was the last time like the NBA had a competitive series really?
Yeah.
I mean 2019 2019 was one, 2016, but in the NBA you rarely ever see these like interesting like series where it could go either way. There's usually like a heavy favorite, so I think it's very refreshing. This is very refreshing for basketball, and I really cannot wait to watch the series. I think it's going to be very, very entertaining. Michael, go ahead. All right, so are we done talking previewing the NBA Finals? I mean, how about this? Let's give our official predictions for the NBA Finals. I mean, let's just do that. My prediction, I'm going. Here's how we're gonna do this. We're each gonna give 1 minute to explain like our picks and the reasons why, like who we're rooting for and like who we're picking. So here we go. Let's just do it. For example, as much for I'm rooting for the Bucks, mostly because of my boy Brook Lopez. Like I want to see him get a ring for all the years for all the things he's done for them. So I'm rooting for the Bucks. Plus, I want to see Giannis get his first ring as well. But I'm sorry, but honestly, that's what my heart is saying. But if I gotta pick the series with my head, I'm going with the Suns. I mean, I think they're just the overall better basketball team. With what Chris Paul has done for that franchise for them, with how well Devin Booker is playing, I just think, and plus with the health of Giannis Antetokounmpo, like I think that's gonna throw off the Bucks like just enough for Phoenix to take the series in. I'm gonna say 7 games. So I got the Suns in 7. All right, Alex, go ahead.
Just knowing how great of a squad Phoenix is, and Monte Williams is an amazing coach this year, and it's hard not to root for them. So I have Suns in 6.
Definitely respect that. Michael, go ahead.
I say the Suns in 4. I'm playing. I say the Suns in 5 because everybody knows me. I'm a huge fan of Chris Paul, and I like Devin Booker. I want to see my main man CP3 finally get a championship before Blake Griffin do. So, because Chris Paul deserved it, he put the work in, and I want him to retire before he gets while he gets a championship. So, Chris Paul, I'm counting on you, baby.
Definitely. I forgot to mention that story. I mean, I mean, I'm rooting for the Bucks, but boy, would that be awesome to see Chris Paul get a ring.
And he could hold that trophy.
It wouldn't be like here's the thing. It wouldn't be like one of those stories where an aging player just becomes just like a role or bench player and then gets his ring as his ring. If the Phoenix Suns win this, Chris Paul would have been a major factor of the Phoenix Suns winning a championship. We're not gonna look up and say, "Oh, he was just a role player." He was a major part of the of this Phoenix Suns championship. So that's definitely a story where definitely a huge possibility ring for Chris Paul to get that ring too, because it would be his first ring, and like I said before, it would be an actual meaningful first ring. Like not something where it's like an aging role. Like it would really be significant. All right. You know what time it is, guys?
What's up?
Alex, do you know what time it is?
Bets of the episode.
Yeah.
Bets of the episode.
All right. Time to move on to our bets. And guess what, guys? Hold on. All right. To recap last episode. Guess what, guys? 2 losing streaks came to an end. Let's start from mine. I came into this episode having lost 4 straight. My streak came to an end. I had the Islanders over the Lightning in Game 6. Islanders beat the Lightning. Unfortunately, they lost in Game 7, but Evan Lightning advanced to the Stanley Cup. But I won my bet. I had 12.8 points. And guess what, guys? Alex finally won a bet after losing 7 straight. He has finally won a bet. He had the Brewers over the Diamonds over the Diamondbacks on the money line, and you know what? He got his bet. Alex, how's it feel to be back in the?
How's it feel to win one, buddy?
Feels good.
Alex, don't get too cocky. So we're the standings, buddy. We're the standings.
All right. So to be everyone, guess what? Bad news, guys. Everyone else lost.
I didn't bet.
You bet. You made a bet. I got your bet right here.
What bet did I bet?
You had the Suns over the Clippers and Booker over 25, and I forget which game of that series it was, but I didn't
bet. I didn't bet the last time because I was in Jamaica.
Oh, I have the bet right here, Michael. I have the receipt.
You
right
cheat. No,
here.
you cheat. You cheat.
I didn't cheat. Go back and listen to the podcast episode. Go back and listen to the best episode of episode 27 if you don't believe me. I never lie about this
Okay.
Stuff. All right. Marcellus had the Bucks over the Hawks on the money line and Giannis over 25. Again, I forget which game of the series that was because it's been so while, but he lost his bet. David had the Lightning over the Islanders in Game 6. He lost his bet, and Chris, through me, had the Bucks over the Hawks. Again, I forget which game, but he did not cover. So to give update on the standings, guys, we have a new ringleader. We have a new man in first place.
You.
That is yours truly. I have a 12-15 record, 126.02 points.
No!
All right, so. But yeah, I'm in
second
first place,
place,
and it feels great to be back
not
in
for
in the
long,
first
asshole.
Right.
You're going to. I'm going to.
All right, and you're right, Michael. In second place is Michael with 14-13 record, 125.89 points. So Michael, you're only a few decimal points behind. So it's a tight race between us.
You're going down, buddy.
All right. In third place, we have David, 17-10 record, 123.02 points. Chris is in fourth place, 12-15 record, 114.76 points. Marcellus is in fifth place, 15-12 record, 89.03 points. And Alex, my friend, even though you finally won a bet, you remain in last place, 10-17 record, 59.7 points.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right. So, we have David's bet here. David is taking the Lightning over the Canadians in Game 4 to win the Stanley Cup. Lightning are currently up 3-0 in the series, so he's picking them to win the Stanley Cup. So that's his bet. I'm gonna do Chris's bet. Michael, are you gonna do Marcellus's?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go first, and you know what, guys? Last time I just went against David last time with the Islanders over the Lightning in a hockey bet. And it worked out for me. I went against David in a hockey bet and won. So you know what, guys? I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go against David in hockey, and I'm going to pick the Montreal Canadiens to stay alive and force the Game 5 in the Stanley Cup. I know. I'm taking the Montreal Canadiens on the money line in Game 4 to keep keep their series alive and send it back to Tampa Bay for a game. But Montreal Canadiens are at home. You know, they've just been on such a great run this year. I just can't see them just going down without a fight. So I got the Canadiens winning Game 4. That's my bet. And for Chris's bet, I'm going to go to Phoenix Suns on the spread in Game 1. Suns are currently -5.5. I imagine that will move depending on Giannis's help for the games. But so if he's not playing, I'm sure that will definitely increase. I'm taking a gamble here. I'm going to take a gamble like for Chris that he's not going to play, and I'm going to take the Suns on a spread -5.5. All right, Alex, you want to go up? You want to go next? Go ahead.
So, knowing that the Milwaukee Brewers snapped their 11-game winning streak yesterday, I don't give a damn about it, so I am going Brewers money line.
Brewers money line against the Mets.
Yep.
And this is why you're in last place as usual.
I can't blame him, Michael. I mean, the Brewers finally ended his losing streak. Why not go right back to them?
Okay, we'll see.
All right, Michael, you have Marcellus's bet.
You know what? In my thing, we go with family here. I'm staying with family. You know, if I gotta pick my cousin's bet, it will be Mets over Brewers. So, Alex, we're going head to head, bitch.
That's 2 head-to-head bets this episode. Okay, this is definitely interesting. So, last up, your own personal bet, Michael. Go ahead.
You know something, Adam? Adam, what's my record, baby? What's my record?
You are in second place, just decimal points behind me, 14-13 record.
Adam, what was your bet, buddy?
I'm taking the Canadiens over the Lightning.
I don't know about hockey.
Okay.
I'm not going to go to hockey. I was going to actually go to head-to-head with me for a basketball bet. Change your bet to a basketball bet.
I am not changing my bet, Michael. Go ahead.
You know what? Last time I went head-to-head with somebody in this group, I won. I'm undefeated.
Actually, no, you lost. The last time you went head-to-head with me, you lost. You went head-to-head with me, you lost.
All right, Adam. So I lost to one person. Adam, you picked. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stake in basketball country. I'm going with the Suns. You know what? I'm gonna make a baseball bet. I'm gonna change it up. Mets, Alex. Guess who's coming to the dance, bitch? Mets versus Brewers money line.
So you're taking the exact same bet as Marcellus?
Yeah, we're gonna stick.
All right. That's
no. Can you dig it, sucker?
All right.
Man. You're going down, Rich. You're going down, boy.
Let's see. Chris's bet is the only one that's neutral here. We got myself versus David, and Michael and Marcellus versus Alex. So this is going to be a very, very interesting bets episode. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. So that's all from the bets. That's all for this episode. Again, we hope everyone had an excellent 4th of July. I mean, even though the Yankees disappointed me, I still am happy. I still had a great time, like at the game.
They won game 2. They won the second game.
They won the second game, and I had a great time hanging with my friends, watching fireworks. It was definitely after last year's 4th of July was obviously like. It was honestly disappointing due to the COVID pandemic and everything, but this year I can safely say it was one of the best 4th of Julys I've had in a long time, and I hope all of you listening to this podcast had an excellent 4th of July as well. So, any final thoughts on Michael or Alex?
Nope.
All right, that's it. This has been episode 28 of the Game On Podcast with yours truly, Adam Grassani, Michael Cunningham, and Alex Reich. If you like what you heard, leave a like and follow or subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you want to join the conversation, drop a comment or review, or we may feature it in a future episode of my friends. So, Steven Juice is fantasy. If you can imagine a world, believe in it, and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.
And we're out.